Secret number one, I can help more patients get better faster and make plenty of money if we cut insurance companies out of the picture altogether. Just imagine this. Patient knows what you do. They say, hey, Aaron, my back hurts. Can you help me? Yes. And they come in, they do everything you say, and they get better. And they're like, wow, you're amazing. This is great. I don't know what you did. It was magic. But the last 8 weeks have been the best weeks of my life. I feel better now than I ever have before. I do my exercises twice a day. I do what you told me, when you tell me. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't it be great if you had patients like that every day to work with? You know what? If you do what's right for your patients, the money is going to follow, the business is going to follow. This is my dad. My dad is, one of those old school physicians. He's a cardiologist, and he's always said, do what's right for your patients. His mentor, Eugene Stead, wrote the book on being there for your patients. And if you take a good history, your patients will tell you what's wrong with them. I think a big thing that we miss nowadays is insurance drives the process so much that we end up, without even knowing it, changing the way we practice based on how we're going to get reimbursed. So one of the reasons I started a cash practice, because I knew that I could do exactly what's right for my patients if my income was not tied to insurance or a referral source. So I know that if I disagree with someone else in town about a patient's plan of care, and I tell the patient that, it's not going to hurt my business or my livelihood, my employee's livelihood, or my family. And I know that I'm doing what I believe is right for my patients. It's one of those things that was entrenched in me as a young kid, and it's what I believe, and it's why I believe that one of the big reasons that I'm successful is because we just do what's right for our patients. I have no pressure to treat patients a certain way. I have no pressure to see them for X amount of visits or less visits or whatever. It's do what the patients want. We find out what the patients really want, and I give them a plan to get there. So I also believe it's inherent conflict of interest in, to the whole insurance thing, because my goal as a physical therapist is to help my patients get better. The patient in an insurance environment isn't paying the bill. Well, they are paying the bill, but not at that moment. They believe their insurance company is going to pay the bill. The insurance company's best interest is to pay the least amount possible, because they want to retain all their earnings so their stock price rises and the shareholders are happy. So the insurance company doesn't want to pay for the patients. I recommend something and the patient goes, well, I can't do that because insurance isn't going to pay. You know what? It's an inherent conflict of interest. And it's so confusing. As you know, people, are not aware of how much they actually going to owe at the end of their course of care. I mean, it's just like, it's a mess. And I believe this whole thing cleans it up. Referrals from physicians. You know what? I'm not saying physicians are bad or physicians, we shouldn't, collaborate with physicians. What I'm saying is we don't need to rely on another profession or other professionals or other providers for our livelihood. When you have 3 referral sources who refer 70% of your business, your livelihood can swing really, left or right. And a lot of times it'll swing downwards because one person disagrees with you, moves out of town, gets their practices purchased by the hospital, or something. Like you can lose 30% of your income all of a sudden. That's a very vulnerable place to be. And they're also not that great. When a physician refers patients to us, it's usually out of convenience of location, or the patients don't really understand what they're getting or where they're going. And they come and see us and we talk about what their investment will be for their plan of care. And they're comparing it to the $35 copay or even $15 copay they just paid to see their physician, who they deem as like, white coat God. And, well, why am I paying 5 times as much to come see you as a physical therapist when my physician told me I need PT? And in that case, they're paying 5 times as much for a modality than they are for the decision maker. So when referrals from physicians, people aren't coming to us for the decision makers. I want to treat motivated patients. I want people to be in my clinic who want to be here. And how do I do that? I market directly to patients, and patients want to be here, and they come in and they're motivated and they do their work. I believe that patients in this relationship choose to be here, and so they are motivated. And they also have skin in the game. When you put skin in the game, you're going to do the work. And many people have high deductibles and high copays, or, recently copays are lower, but deductibles are even higher. It's crazy. I mean, it ends up being cash anyways for a lot of people. And where do I believe I can serve them the best is in our business model. Because do you really want Jennifer in Iowa making decisions on how your patient gets treated? I mean, like I don't, someone who's not a healthcare provider should not be deciding whether my patient gets a treatment or not, or they get reimbursed for a treatment or not. I just think that's, it's a little insane to me. So let me share a story with you about one of my patients, Jim. And Jim came to see us, but before he came to see us, he went to see his primary care physician because he had back pain. The primary care physician gave him some medication, sent him for an MRI, and he ended up with the same pain, no relief. A month later, he was still hurting, so he went back to his primary MD with more medication. He got more meds and the same results. He did a little searching online, found us through one of our blog posts, gave us a call, and he's like, Dr. LeBauer answered his own phone. I mean, I did. At the time, I was the one working here. I answered my phone. 4 treatments, 5 weeks later, he feels great. I mean, it's why, he's wasted 2 months of his time. And we could have, he could have been much better off if he knew about us sooner. Or the physician said, hey, look, before we do meds and an MRI, let's go get you some PT. Like maybe he wouldn't have come to see me with what I just told you, but maybe he would and he should. So this is the thing. It's like I want patients to come see us first. And the only way we can do that is to market directly to them. And the only way that I'm going to help 100 million people is to teach you guys how to do this. So I work for patients, not insurance companies. I am Cash PT. If you are Cash PT, write in I am Cash PT, because I believe that together we can make a huge impact in the world. I believe if we do what's right for our patients, we're going to reap the reward that we all deserve. I mean, because we've all worked hard. Everyone works hard. You work hard, you transform people's lives. You should be able to take a day off of work a week and go on vacation, spend some time with your family, work out every day.